Hi guys. I'm a couple minutes late. I forgot to do some stuff before I went live, so I had to fix it. We already got people on here, Wilson. We have made on Maple Lane. Stephanie is here already. You're not too early. You're just in time, Stephanie. And Gert says, "Hi, Stephanie. Guess I'm early too." Oh, you guys are not early. You're just here waiting for me. Because you know I have something fun, right? Like, not only DIY paint, but I got something fun planned. It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It's Whiskey Wednesday. Bobby Melvin says, happy DIY. Happy DIY to you too. Stephanie says, an hour ago. You were here an hour ago? Yeah, that might be a little early. Here you go, Bobby. Welcome, welcome, everyone. You find me, Wilson?
Yep.
Okay.
Sandy says hi, Camille Wilson, DIY.
Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. Sheila says hi, everyone.
Sheila, Sandy, welcome, welcome. DIY for you, Sandy. Just so you know, Wilson always takes a sip too when you guys wish him a happy, you know what, Wednesday. Marla says, happy Wednesday, DIY. All right, guys, let's slow these down. I won't be able to paint. Here you go, Marla. You're counting on something fun, Sheila? Of course you know I'm going to do something fun. And Gert says, happy DIY. Right back at you, Gert. Small sips. Little sips, guys, right at the beginning.
Nancy says hello from Florida.
Hello from Florida. Welcome, welcome. I got to pull my paint a little closer. I have this frame. There we go. I have this frame that had this painting in it. And we're going to make that over.
Thank you.
There you go, Wilson. Excellent, Marla. He said thank you. But I have this frame and that painting went in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint this or not because it's really pretty. So we're going to paint the board first. It's a solid board. Like I've never seen a board like this. Wilson, look at how thick this board is. It's a thick board, but it's also got a texture on this surface. This side is smooth and this side has a texture.
Lisa says hi from Haley, Idaho.
Lisa is in Haley, Idaho. Oh, Idaho? Excellent. Lisa Homer, that is. Welcome, welcome from Idaho.
Bobby, DIY, Connie Wilson.
Hey, Bobby, DIY, right back at you.
Patricia says hello, DIY.
We're getting rain. We're starting to get rain, guys.
DJ and Pena, hello, Connie Wilson.
Ooh, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Patricia and Tana. Welcome. Dee says that frame is awesome. I know.
And yes, it's raining.
It's raining. $1.97 it was. Isn't it cool? I think it was $1.97, something like that. I just peeled the tag off, but look at that frame. And the only place it's got some damage is right here on the corner. And I have no idea why they put two screws or one screw. One screw in the bottom right there. But they did. But I don't care. I still like it. And I'm not even going to fix that because I think I kind of like it. Oh, wonky like that. So we're going to paint this though, and we're going to put a vase of flowers on here. I haven't painted with you guys in a long time. How long has it been? Marla says, gorgeous. Wilson, were you going to say something?
Nope.
Cindy from CNC DIY Factory says, hello, love that frame. Thank you, Cindy. And Sheila says, very cool frame. Yeah, I squealed when I seen that one. All right, let's hook you up to the other camera. And then we got a switcheroonie here. All right, see, this is the lovely painting that went in there. It went in there like that, which is kind of cool, but I just needed something else in there. Oh, well, good. Must be the rain. Must be the rain. So we're going to use out of this DIY kit. It is the Mixology kit, and it comes with 8 different colors. I still do have some left. I sold quite a few of them, but I still do have some left. And the price is going up. This is it. As soon as these sell out, the price is going up. They raised the price on them. So these are the colors that you get. Summer Crush, Weathered Wood, Little Black Dress, Liquid Sunshine, Gypsy Green. Nope. Fancy Farm Girl, Carnival Red, White Swan, and Blue Iris. I've used these so much. These are some of my go-to colors, and you can mix them, which is why it's called the Mixology kit. You can mix them and make so many of your favorite colors. So the price is going up. I believe it's $39 right now, but it's going to go up. Okay, we're going to paint the background white. I kind of already sketched on here, but that's okay. I'll sketch again. So we're going to use my IOD paint blade to put the paint on here. Just because it's so easy to work with this thing versus getting the paintbrush dirty. So I'm just going in with, this is vintage linen. Just the Mixology kit, Cindy. Good question. It's just on the Mixology kit because they have to pour those colors, and it's very time consuming. So the warehouse is raising the price on them. So good question though, but just on the Mixology kit. IOD is having a price increase too, though. They're July 1st, their prices increase. I should probably send an email and so you guys can get your stuff before July, because I believe it's 5% that it's going up, which 5%, it's 5%. Give me the 5%. Right? You might as well save while you can. So I have to raise prices July 1st. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. I'm going to use a little bit of weathered wood. It's very, very runny, but I'm just going to mix some in here to give that vintage linen just a little bit deeper grunge. We're going to cover most of this up anyway, but it's a nice base to have. Yeah. Yeah. That is true. So if you want any IOD products, grab them now while you still can save yourself 5%. Looks like my light is still a little bright. What do you think, Wilson? Let's turn it. That's a little better. So we just have white on here right now, so it is kind of hard to see. We're going to dry this. And we'll see what comments we have. Wilson read some of these. Catherine says, hello, everyone. I'm late to the party, but here I am. You are not late. I'm just putting the base coat on. So you are not late. Emma says, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So good. I love Wednesdays. Midweek, hump day. Wilson, what day is it? It's Thursday for him. He doesn't work on Friday. All right, we got to dry this because I do have to put some pencil lines on it. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry. We're going to do a painting tonight. It's going to be a vase of flowers. And I'm not sure yet. Let me know, should I do cone flowers or peonies? I'm torn. I am a cone flower lover, so I don't paint peonies very well at all. But I do like cone flowers. So let me know what you think. Cone flowers or peonies? Did you see how easy it was to wash off this IOD paint blade? You don't have any of these. You really should grab them before July 1st. The price goes up after July 1st.
Kelly says peony. Candy says cornflower.
Oh, coneflowers, peonies. Oh, goodness. Whatever it is, it's going to be pink.
Pink?
Pink.
Sheila says love them both. Love cornflowers most.
Oh, excellent. Coneflowers,
Are they pink?
they're pink. Wilson doesn't even know what color coneflowers are. I have them everywhere in the gardens. I can't believe he doesn't know what color they are. He probably doesn't know what a coneflower is. Yes, but they're pink, right?
I don't know.
What color do you see?
Look at it.
You're not blooming yet. My peonies just started today. Okay. Tomorrow I release my rice paper in case y'all are not able to sleep tonight because I'm releasing the rice paper. Yeah, I am. So it looks like we have more coneflowers than peonies. So D says, I love my paint blade. I know, right? You guys, you should grab one before July 1st. And we got more coneflowers here. Gert says, whoop, whoop on the, and Sylvia Try DIY is watching. So yes, I didn't grab my pencil. So tomorrow is the release of my rice paper. So exciting. And we might do something here tonight that's like something I did on one of those rice papers. I think I told you in a post earlier. I'm putting that vase off to the side, off to the right-hand side. And I'll put a coneflower over here somewhere. And then there's going to be one kind of hanging down over here. I don't like a coneflower hanging down like that. So maybe we'll make a peony right there. We'll make a coneflower up here. And then maybe another peony down here. We're going to do both. Okay, we're going to do both. And then we're going to have some leaves that are shooting out all over the place. So this is going to be a really messy painting, guys, like really messy. It's called loose painting, and we're just going to go with it. So I hope that I can teach you something, and I hope that you just practice and just play. Luann says, happy DIY Wednesday. Hey, Luann, welcome, welcome. What else do we have? Gert says, I have my blade, but haven't used them yet. Excellent. I'm glad that you got them. Got my June back porch package, and I love it. Oh, I'm so glad, Luann. It is good, isn't it? Susan says, hi, Connie and everyone. I'm late. So sorry. You're not late. We just did the background, Susan. You're just fine. Sheila says, I can grow coneflowers from seed. Never had that happen before, but I have literally hundreds of little coneflower babies that came from the coneflowers I planted 2 years ago. Oh, yeah. They make babies everywhere. That is why I have them all over the place. And Susan says, oh, great. So, all right, let's get started. First, we're going to, hey, Lori Hartwig. I have, I thought I had, yeah, I do, my walk on water. I'm going to use my walk on water for the vase over here. So we're just going to put the vase in over here. And again, this is painting it very, very loosely. My water. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I try and be like Speeding Gonzalez on the print on the shipping. Wilson always tells me I'm way too quick on that shipping. He said, you don't have to be that fast. You don't have to do it twice a day. Yeah, I do. I do. Going in with some vintage linen just to give that base a little shape. And again, brush strokes. That's what this painting is all about, is brush strokes. I love them. Look at those fun brush strokes. All right, that's my walk on water. That's not in that kit. We're gonna go with some weathered wood that's in this kit. And just the tops of those coneflowers are in weathered wood. And just a tiny, tiny little bit of vintage linen on there will just lighten up one side of them, giving them a little bit of shape. Now we're going to the peonies. I want them to be pink, but I also want I didn't clean my brush after walk on water, so it might have a little bit of greenish look going on here. But I'm going to go in with, oh, this one's going right over the top, so it's really going to get green. That's okay.
Tina, hello, Connie from Meriden, Idaho. I've been trying so many products and techniques because of you. Thank you for sharing your talent.
Aw, so sweet. That's the best. All right, this peony needs to be dried. Let's dry him so I can add more yellow because he's too green. He's too green. We need more yellow. We'll add green later, but not quite yet. All right, that might be enough. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of starting in the center and making C's all the way around. I don't know how else to explain it. And then you're going to have an irregular outside pattern. Okay. There's the base for those. Now, let's see who we got. Wilson Red. That one I got my back porch prints and fast shipping. Yep, that's what I do. I got fast shipping. And this is one that Wilson Red, in case someone didn't hear it. Tina is trying so many products and techniques because of watching this show. So thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate it. Bobby, I have been watching lots of your older videos. I absolutely loved the one where you painted on a hollyhocks on a breadboard with your wallpaper scraps. It inspired me to try some hollyhocks. Blah. I don't even remember when I did that one. So I'm glad that you like it. I don't remember doing that one, but I've done a lot of videos, Bobby. Wilson, I don't even know how many years we've been doing this. We've been doing this a lot of years, so I painted a lot of stuff. And Gert says, be right back. Puppy needs a quick walk. DIY. I hope you took yours with you, Gert. Now I can see that this vase is going to be a little unbalanced, and I don't really like that. So we're going to just add a small little blotch of a peony up there. Okay. So now we're going to Painterly. We're going to use Painterly. And I better wash my brush out or we'll have orange. So Painterly should go over white to make sure that it shows up. So I'm just painting the petals of the coneflowers with some white first. Do you see how far back I'm holding my brush? It's way back here. And it gives me absolutely no control over how my brush strokes come out, which is why this is called a loose painting.
Lisa Stevens says, hello, kids. Happy DIY Whiskey Wednesday.
Hey, Lisa. Welcome, welcome. Like, so that is holding my brush way back here. That is, what color is that? That is Love Language. It is so, so, so pretty. Natalie is here. She says over 5 years ago. Oh, Natalie must have looked back on my YouTube videos. I was doing lives on Facebook for longer than my YouTube channel. So it might even be longer than that. That's when your first video was posted. Yep, that might be when I started on YouTube. It was 5 years ago. Wow. Wow. All right, so now we're going to take, I want a little bit of purple in my peonies. So I'm going to use Maximalist. And remember, we need white. So we're going to go in that C pattern. I still have pink on my brush. And the peonies are going to be on top. And they always have those petals hanging down. And then this is kind of like up on the top, like a ball shape on the top of them.
Lisa sprinkled you.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, now we're going to go in with the purple. So I want some of that yellow to show. So that's the ball part of the peony. And then this is the petals that are hanging down. Look at where I'm holding my brush, way back here. All right, now I do want those to have some pink in them. So we're gonna go right in with Love Language and fill some of that around. And how you can make that look like it's a ball shape is by your brush strokes and how I'm curving my brush strokes. And I'm not going straight up and down, I'm curving them. Okay, oh, we forgot that one up there. We were doing it, but this one is just, he's in the background here. We're gonna have to go over top of those cornflowers again. And then a little pink right away. And now let's go back over the cornflowers to push him backwards. So he's peonies have that solid ball on the top when they're not quite totally bloomed. These are kind of blooming. That should be a little darker on the inside. So we're gonna fix that up with a little weathered wood, I think. It's right here. So I'm going to put some weathered wood and then go in with this purple and a little bit of pink and just make this color darker. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of that up here also. The base of this peony. Actually, I kind of like that. We're just adding that darker color there. Don't worry, we'll go over the top. The loose painting is all about layers. So you want to just keep adding those layers and keep, like if I went over top of those coneflowers, but then I just painted the coneflowers again. So don't worry about what you're doing because you can just go over the top of it and you can just keep piling the paint on top and you're going to end up with something that you like. So we do have some of that white popping out there. We're going to fill in some back. Well, no, we're going to do a couple leaves. Let's do a couple leaves first before we do the background. Because I want to put some leaves in the background. So we're going to go in. We got another bright color. This is Dreamville. I still have all of these Painterly colors available on my website. If you don't have them, they are amazing. And then I want a little glow up because I want my teal to not be quite that color. I want it to be more electric green. Okay, then I'm going to hang a leaf down here. Look at how fun that is. Look at those colors. It's just totally amazing, that bright color. I'm not normally much of a bright person, but all right, we can add a little green in there just to make it look like there's some leaves stuck in there. And then maybe just a few hanging out here. Thank you, Lisa. So got that we're going to want some over here. So maybe on this side right here. Okay, that background is not the way it's going to be, guys. So don't worry. It's going to get covered up a little bit. Not much, but some. I really do like this green color, except I want it to be a little bit lighter. I got to add a little highlight there. It didn't lighten up enough. There. Now you can actually see a difference. I don't know how it's looking, guys. We haven't done this for so long, so I hope that you're trusting the process and liking where we're going with this. And thank you, Lisa, for sprinkling. And Bobby Melvin says, I looked and the Hollyhock video was 2 years ago. Oh, was it a live or was it a recorded video? It must have been a live because I don't usually paint on my recorded videos. They don't get the watch time that I normally get. So April says DIY. Hello, hello, April. Luann said I was late in this. Is this a canvas? It is a board that was in a ornate frame. So it's kind of like a canvas, but it's more a board. Lisa, very pretty. Gert says, I'm back. Poor puppy got scared because they are setting off fireworks. Pretty DIY. Gert, we just had a DIY when you left. You weren't gone that long. We have rain, so they wouldn't be putting fireworks off here. Sandy looks so pretty. Sylvia says, looking good. Thank you, Sylvia. Okay, so we have to fill in that background. We're still going to do something to those flowers. Don't worry, they're not done. I have Prom Queen and I have my vintage linen. So we're going to put, and I didn't wash my brush out very well. We're going to put Prom Queen on the background. I have to move my canvas here while I paint because I got to go around. So this is filling in the background. I like this process and I don't mind if there's a little bit of white sticking out. I actually kind of invite it. So, and the yellow. I like the yellow sticking out too. I don't know why. It's just something about this type of a background fill that I like. Some of my green is coming out in my brush, which is fun. I forget, I gotta go all the way to the edge. I don't usually go right to the edge when I paint on paper or canvas. So right here, my leaf, I didn't like the shape of it, so I can cover some of it up. And you'll never know that I didn't like the shape. Those leaves will have stems, don't worry. Same with that coneflower. We just filled it in and made him more rounded versus how he was. And I think it's still too tall. So we're going to knock a little bit more off. So this peony, I'd like it to be a little bit more rounded. So I'm going to round the shape of it. And so this is not done and that's done. So isn't that fun? I love the look of this. So tell me if you like the look of doing the background after you have the painting painted. And if you like this loose style. Again, I'm way on the end of my brush. I'm learning how to paint loose. And before I painted like this. And you have so much more control when you paint down here, but you don't want that control right now. You want a loose painting. We have just a couple little spots in here that are blue. So we're just going to go in and we're still going to go over those cone flowers again. So some of that will be covered up. Is this looking much better than what was in here? I hope so. We went with a white background first just to cover up that harsh painting that was in here. And then it also acts as a base. If we want to put that white background on it, the base, the colors would look totally different. Now we need a little bit of a shadow down here. So what I'm going to do is take some weathered wood and mix it into my prom queen. To make a darker color. And then just have a little bit of a shadow down here. It also would have a little bit of a shadow on this side. And it's not much. It's just a little bit. And even under some of these flowers, like where they would be shadowing, because there's something above them, I'm just going to go in with a little of this weathered wood on the paint.
It's found all your videos on YouTube. You are my new best friend.
Well, you are my new best friend too. You're so sweet. And I don't like to waste any paint, so just put it on it up there at the top just to kind of give it a little bit more interest.
See, Factory says happy DIY. Go now. Have a good night.
Thank you, Cindy. Have a good night. All right. So background is done. Flowers are not. Is this not fun? I told you we would do something fun tonight. So let's check some comments that Wilson didn't get. Thank you, DIY. So I think that's where we left off. Sandy says looks pretty. Sylvia says looking good. Bobby says recorded. It was a thrift haul video and you found a picture of an angel with chicken, the guardian, that you said hung above your parents' house. Oh, okay. I'll have to look for that. Connie, did you go to art school? I did not. I did not go to art school. I did art in high school, and my dream in high school was to go on to school for art, and then I had a baby, so that never happened. And then I didn't pick up art again. I did ceramics, I did cross stitch, I did scrapbooking, I did photography. I did everything to keep my creative soul going. And I didn't start painting until it'll be 6 years ago now. So yeah, from high school until 6 years ago is when I picked it up again, and I've just been teaching myself, just watching videos and teaching myself. And I like to watch fast videos, like the time-lapse videos. That's where I can get my most information out of, is watching a fast time-lapse video. I know that's crazy, but that's what I like. Gert says she loves it. Lisa says, I'm not reading that comment. Not reading it. Marla says hi to Sylvia. Kathy says, I like the background left white better. For where I'm sitting, the leaves are lost in the blue. Don't worry. I'm fixing them. Don't worry, Kathy. I got you. Sylvia says, hey, Marla. Luann says, love it all, DIY. Denise says, I just found all your videos on YouTube. You are my new best friend. Denise, that is so sweet. That's so sweet. Cindy had to take off. April says, aren't you so glad you quit your job? So fun to see you build a passion dream job. Thank you, April. It is. I don't know why it took me so long, but yeah, it's been amazing. And you guys are just amazing too. And Sylvia says good night to Cindy. Carol says hi, Connie and Wilson. Sylvia says, Denise, Rachel, make sure to sign up for her emails if you haven't already. They are fabulous. Sylvia, thank you so much. That is so sweet. Yes, I did. I send out emails every Wednesday. So if you are not subscribed to my email list, go onto my website at thepaintedphotographer.com, and it will have a pop-up or a swoop across or something that says, do you want to stay connected? And sign up there. And I send emails every Wednesday with tips and tricks and how to do things and step-by-step instructions. So Denise says, I have been video binging all your videos. Thank you. Gert says, too late. Carrie says, hi, Connie. I'm Carrie watching from South Australia. Well, welcome, Carrie. I think you're just waking up on Thursday morning, but it is Wednesday here for us. And Luann says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Luann, you're sweet. All right. DIY for all those comments. You guys are the best. You just make me so happy. I can't wait to release my rice papers tomorrow. My rice paper is where my creativity, I can let it out and I can give it to you. So it's just, I can't wait. I can't wait to show you. They are so good. Listen, I think I need a refill on that. All right. So we need to add a little bit of paint to these flowers here. I'm going to go with just a bit smaller of an angled brush, just because we're going to do a few of the details here. I am going to take the Love Language and Vintage Linen and mix those together to have a little bit lighter pink. I like a bigger brush. I don't know why, but I do. So I want to keep the darker pink towards the base of those. And that's what's going to make it look like it's flopping down or heading down in a downward motion. And then peonies always have like these cup-shaped petals that come up like that. And so that one there, and it's all just brush strokes. And I want that base to be dark. This one, those petals are behind those coneflowers, so we're not going to worry too much about them. And then that is that ball of that peony. So now if you want a really bright white, I want a really bright white on those. I am using cottage color in white linen. This is going to be a really bright white. So let me show you. What can I show you on? I have a pink piece of paper here. So here's white linen. It had a little bit of pink in it. And here's vintage linen. So see how much brighter white that white linen is compared to vintage linen. So right now I want the brighter white. This has a grayish look to it, which would make it more vintage. And this is the brighter white. So I want bright white for this. So I am using cottage colors in white linen.
Gorgeous double pink polyhats this year.
Oh, really?
I'm sure they're done blooming 9 degrees.
Wow. Oh, she's in Los Angeles right now. So I bet she's not seeing them. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I love hollyhocks. I used to have them all over. I was in a garden tour one year, and the whole backyard was full of hollyhocks. And then all of a sudden they were gone. Like they just were gone. So we're adding some bright white to these peonies just to give them a little bit of shape. And I like the look of that one back there. He needs more pink. I think he's got to stay a little bit more pink because he's not open yet. And this one might have a little bit too much pink or white in it also. So that is the beauty. You can go back in and fix that. All right, now we need a little glow up. First, I need to put some bright white in there, because otherwise my glow up won't show up. So I put some bright white in there. We need to add the little polleny things in there, just a little yellow. And there's no polleny things in that one there. So now we're going to go back to our cone flowers. The cone flowers, I want to put a little orange in them. So this orange is called Old Flame, and I love this orange. It is a beautiful orange. So we're just adding some of that orange into these cone flowers for a little interest, a little another added color. And then the Old Flame gets mixed in with them. So you can just see a little bit of that orange. And sometimes the coneflowers, they have orange ones. They're called Sunset, I believe. And now we're going to go in with white linen again. And just add a little interest. A little white. Okay, now we got to fix the leaves. So we want those leaves to stand out a little bit. I have some glow up and I have some of that green. So I want to make them a little bit darker than what they are. And then we have to actually connect these leaves to each other, because right now they're just kind of hanging out there and they're not grounded at all. So you can give the little dips and dabs so that it's like an impression of a leaf. And then that helps a little bit too. Back in with white linen. Given that little highlight so they don't look quite so flat. All right. Now I need to connect them. So I need to make my brush very, very flat. And connect. What do you think? I have to rinse my brush. And I like to add a little bit of color into the base. And then also the green color. So that the stems are in there. And then we're going to go with the white. All right. So you all, a lot of you have been following me for a long time. So you'll have to let me know if I should put conny lines on this. I'm going to bring you closer. Do we want conny lines? Here, let's get the whole picture. Ugh, I got my wire. There's the whole thing right there. So I'm voting no conny lines, but I'm going to wait and see what you guys are going to tell me. So what are you thinking? First, we're going to do a DIY because Wilson made me a new drink. So DIY while I read these comments. Luann says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Yep, thank you, Luann. And Gert says, DIY, I just did that for you, Gert. Sylvia, she's given a thumbs up. Thank you. Carrie Dowdy says, it's nearly 10 Thursday morning here. Well, good morning. And Denise says, I am waiting on them. I did sign up for a box. So check your spam, Denise. If you signed up for an email and you're not getting it, check your spam. I can also check to see if your sign up went through. So you can send me a message and tell me your email address, and I will check to see if you're in there. But check your spam. And Carrie says, I better say Whiskey Wednesday from Oz. Yes. Gert says, Carrie, where do you live? It's 8:20 here in Florida, 8:20 p.m. Yes. Hi, Gert. I live in a country town called Manham, which is on Murray River. How fun. What about a tiny ant what about a tiny ant? They love my peonies. They do, Luann, but your peonies have to have ants. If you didn't have ants, you wouldn't have peonies. Do you know why? Do you know why your peonies need ants? And we read Marla's about her hollyhocks, and Gert says, don't know where that is. Susan says, I think so too. And Sylvia says, and for me, it's almost 2:30 at night. So happy I can watch a live because we have a holiday tomorrow. Well, holiday, it's Juneteenth tomorrow, right? Is that what they say? How they say it? Juneteenth? Carrie says, have you heard of Ardenlale? It's our capital city. And Gert is asking some questions from Carrie. Excellent. Gert says, pretty. Sylvia says, so fascinating to watch how the flowers grow before our eyes with each brushstroke. Thank you. Susan says, nice. Carrie says, Connie, you make it look so easy. I struggle with drawing a stick figure. It's just practice, Susan. Or Carrie. Sorry, it's just practice. Denise says, beautiful. Deborah says, lovely. Gert says, pretty rice paper. Yes, it would be a pretty rice paper. Lisa says, yes, Connie lines. Carol says, yes, for Connie lines. Patricia Hempel says, you know, we are going to say yes. Susan says, wow, gorgeous. Marla says, not with that frame. I know, Marla, that's what I think. Sylvia says, yes. Sandy says, so pretty. Booth 17 says, no Connie lines, maybe light paint sprinkles, maybe. Denise says, I'm waiting on the rice papers. That's tomorrow, Denise. Joe Ellen says, no Connie lines. I totally agree. Patricia says, it's so pretty. Marla says, to eat the sap off. They have to eat them so that they bust open so they can bloom. If you don't have ants, your peonies can't bloom. The box is coming on June 23rd. Oh, that's not too far away. And Luann says, I do the need them, just not why. I do the need them, just not why. Oh, you know that they need them, you just don't know why. They have to chew the buds open. So they chew the buds, and I believe it's the sap that they're chewing off, but they chew the buds and so that the buds can pop open. If they didn't chew them, they wouldn't be able to pop open. I don't know why I know that. Useless information, I guess. Yes, Dee says they make the flowers open. And Gert says DIY. And Luann says pretty, no Connie lines. I agree. I am not doing any Connie lines. What I will do is give it a signature while we're here. I'm going to go in weathered wood. And like April said, maybe we want a few splatter marks, like fly specks maybe. And those might be kind of fun in this brown color, in this weathered wood color. So we're going to just make this table line here. There's my Connie lines for you guys. And then we'll do a little bit of splatter. As Jonathan Mark Mendez would call it, fly specks. That was perfect, April. Good suggestion. Thank you. Great suggestion. Okay, guys. Let's put the frame back on it again. So now my next question is, do I paint this frame? Or do I leave that frame like that? I think I might have to really give it a good white wax because it's a little on the dull side compared to that painting. But how fun is that, guys? It's so fun. Let's end the night with, I'll show you the painting up on this one because I heard it's clear tonight. So look at that. Isn't that really, really pretty? I love it. Don't worry. It's nobody. I'm sure it's a telemarketer. All right. I am releasing my rice papers tomorrow. There's a couple of things. Releasing the rice papers tomorrow. I'll be live at 10 a.m. And I'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to do both and showing you my papers and telling you why I painted them, giving you a little story on them. I do have a couple projects that I made with them too. So that's kind of fun. And then IOD prices are going to increase on July 1st. So if you want any IOD products, grab them now before they have to increase on July 1st. And then also this mixology kit. What I have left is at this price, but it's going to go up. So what I have left is at the price that it's at right now, but then those are going to go up also. So yes.
Marla says good night, you're live.
Thank you, Marla.
Patricia says looks so much better in that.
Yeah, it looks good in that frame. April says I'll try to sneak on when I'm at work, otherwise I'll watch a replay. Excellent, April. And Susan says thanks, Connie. All right, guys, thanks for watching tonight. I'm glad we could actually paint something summery tonight, and you could watch me paint, and hopefully I taught you something. And if not, go back and watch the replays. I'm sure I taught you something. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, happy painting.